Quit your job, drop out of school, abandon your family.
This person, I still hate her. So this woman made a video talking about how the transgender ideology is a product of social contagion, aka a trend. And like, calling that a trend is extremely disrespectful. She then started to say now that this quote-unquote trend was over, the rate of people transitioning started to go down, and the rate of people detransitioning started to go up. And like, not only did she not put up a graph talking about the detransitioning rates, but she is also completely unaware about the main reason people detransition. Because the reason these people decide to detransition isn't because a trend ended, but it's because a lack of support and acceptance. And these comments clearly show a lack of acceptance towards trans people. And like, it sucks knowing that these people will never learn. These people will remain transphobes from now until the end of time. Okay, so I know Roblox is falling apart at the seams that I haven't played the game in a year, but I decided to hop back on just so I can make this. So I decided to watch the Fortnite 0-hour live event on YouTube because I was not re-downloading that game, because people have said this is the best event Fortnite has ever made. And to that I say, if you understood that reference, you're a legend. I'm not saying it's bad, but basically the event was essentially a collab fest, and collabs don't really mean much to me in this game. Plus, I haven't played this game for a year, so I had no idea what the story was. If they're still doing the story. Does anyone know what the Fortnite story is anymore? But you can't say this isn't impressive. I mean, Fortnite is the only game... Nah, screw that. Fortnite is the only piece of media that have Hatsune Miku, Godzilla, Homer Simpson, and goddamn 6'7" Brainrot in the same universe, essentially. Like, Fortnite is essentially just canon fanfiction. It could put literally anything into the story, and it'll somehow work. Kinda makes me want to rake all the other end of chapter events. I did it once, but now there's a lot more of them. Do not make that seem like I'm actually gonna make the video, no promises. Fortnite added possibly the funniest thing into their game. So if you ever heard of Fortnite, you probably know this animation, the animation when you're knocked. However, now, that animation has ragdoll physics, and it works exactly how you'd expect it would. Of course, Fortnite's not the first game to have ragdoll physics. Fortnite's probably not even the first Battle Royale game to have ragdoll physics. But it doesn't make it any less fun. Now, unfortunately, the ragdolling is pretty controlled. I prefer it when it's completely crazy, like when body parts start clipping into each other. Do that. That would be hilarious. Please stop saying my character looks like a private part. He looks nothing like one. So recently, a couple of people have been saying that my character kind of looks like, you know, the male part between the legs. And to that I say, I can't tell if y'all are either just dirty-minded or just blind. To be honest, it seems like a combination of both, because I can definitely see how a dirty-minded individual can see the two twin puffs being seen as, you know. But for the rest of it, I don't know how you put those two together. Because even if I remove these two spears which act as his hands and turn them upside down, I just don't see it. But funny enough, it's not actually the only thing my character has been mistaken as. This counter says that it kind of looks like something from Hollow Knight, which, you know, I can see that. And another commenter says it looks like Gaster, which, yeah, I just don't. So, of course, we are aware that there are a bunch of pride flags. However, I recently came across a bunch of them that just represent the absolute worst people on the planet. Some people may recognize the map flag, which, if you don't know what a map is, it's essentially a person who's attracted to people under the age of 18. However, there are so much more of them. I mean, there's a map ally flag. There's also flags for zoophilias, which we already knew existed, and necrophilias, which I didn't want to know existed. Then there's the group of paraphilia and paraphilia ally flags, which To be honest, I don't really know what it means, so I'm just gonna show you the definition and maybe you can decipher it. Oh, and I left the worst for last. This. What in the fuck? If it wasn't any more obvious, we do not condone these types of people. If you see people using these flags, try and report them, because not only are they mocking actual pride flags, but they just also support terrible human beings. So in Kirby Air Riders, each character is weighted differently. And with that being said, who do you think the heaviest character in this game is? Could it be King Dedede? Or maybe Chef Kawasaki? Or perhaps the fucking Rock? No. It's Susie. Yeah, this tiny girl who doesn't even have legs. She's the heaviest character in this game. Sakurai, what are you trying to say here by making the only female character in this game the heaviest? Do we need to bring back the allegations of you not liking modern Kirby? I heard someone theorize that she's probably the heaviest character because she was from Planet Robobot, where she used her Robobot armor. Which makes me even more mad that her special isn't her using the Robobot armor. I mean, come on, how did you miss up on such low-hanging fruit? Now, my theory is that Sakurai made her so heavy so her ability wouldn't be so broken. Cause like, imagine if she was light, with that ability. I've been playing Kirby Air Riders for a bit, and it made me realize something. Most of these vehicles would suck to drive in real life. Like, even if they're able to stop, which most of them can't, these things would just be a danger to everybody on the road. Like, imagine you drive a Jetstar. You're just trying to drive your way to work, and suddenly you hit a road bump and start blasting off like Team Rocket. And what about the Swerve Star, which is either driving at top speed or not driving at all? And you better hope you don't crash into anybody, cause with that point at that speed, that would kill basically anything. And then there's the Slick Star, which literally can't stop. That's its gimmick. The Hop Star seems fun until you're suddenly crushed by the weight of an average car. Then with the Vampire Star, you'd just never be able to drive behind anyone or else you would literally kill them. And with all of that, there's still the Bulk Star. Like, come on, I have to deal with all this BS and I still have to pay for gas? Okay, so like, as much as I love Nintendo, there's just some things you can't defend. So Metroid Prime 4 recently released, and I've been seeing mixed reviews about the game. However, there does seem to be one thing that everyone can agree on, and that being that this Soul Valley area really sucks. And one of the factors on why it sucks is the fact that it has no music. So yeah, that sucks. But what makes it suck more is the fact that this can be fixed if you buy a $30 amiibo. Because using the amiibo will grant you a radio that you can use while you're on the motorcycle in the desert area. Having to spend that much money on what's essentially just a music player is frankly insane. At that point, just sell me the OST physically. Now, you can get the music player if you 100% the game, and it's not like this is the only game to do that. Donkey Kong Bonanza did it as well. But like, first of all, if you 100% Metroid Prime 4, you're probably not gonna play the game again. And second of all, at least Donkey Kong Bonanza's desert area had music. Now, a little part of me feels like this was intentional, considering that there's not even a music track for the desert area. But still, needing to spend $30 for a music player is frankly insane. By the time I'm recording this, the Mega Dimensions DLC comes out in about a day and a half. And by the time you're seeing this, I've probably spent all night playing it. And with that being said, I want to talk about something that I don't feel like a lot of people are talking about. If this game works the way I think it will, shiny hunting in this game will be an absolute nightmare. Because how I assume it will work based on the trailers is that you will only be able to spend so much time in Hyperspace Lumiose. At a certain time, you'll get kicked back out. Which means all the shiny hunting methods we discovered in the base game probably won't work here. And the chance that you could lose a shiny because you ran out of time in hyperspace would make it all the more painful. Thankfully, this is a modern Pokemon game, meaning that there will probably be some way to increase the shiny odds when you're there, but still. I pray to all of you attempting to get a shiny Dex. I feel like we live in a time where everyone likes to call things either trash or hot garbage. And don't get me wrong, some things definitely deserve the title, but other things don't. I feel like they're only doing it for clicks. In fact, I know they're only doing it for clicks because you got some people who call something trash in the thumbnail, but then turn around and in the video say, actually, it's not that bad. Probably the most egregious example is this video I recently came across. What do you mean? Is it mid or is it bad? Because I can't tell. Oh, and don't even get me started with the people who just call something slop in the thumbnails. That doesn't mean anything. Like, it got to the point where I feel like you could get better reviews on IGN. IGN! We are so screwed. So I want to talk about one of my friends. Different than the one who couldn't open the milk carton. And I'm talking about them because they are a scaredy cat. I just didn't know how much of a scaredy cat they were. So before Fright Fest, one of our teachers wanted us to vote for a movie. And I don't know what the other choices were, but I know the main one was Nightmare Before Christmas. And my friend did not want to watch that movie because, get this, she was scared of it. She watched it once before and couldn't get past the first 20 minutes. And I'm like, is The Nightmare Before Christmas even considered a horror movie? Like, I haven't watched it in a minute. In fact, I haven't watched really any movie in a minute, but like, surely it can't be that scary. As someone who goes by they, them, I can respect all kinds of pronouns. However, there's one that just kinda confuses me. And it's not neopronouns, even though I know that can be confusing. The pronouns I'm talking about are its pronouns. It's another type of gender-neutral pronouns for people who don't want to go by they, them. But here's the thing. At least they, them pronouns refer to actual people. Like, I understand if you want to go by gender-neutral pronouns, but like, if you're using its pronouns, aren't you kind of objectifying yourself? And like, would you want to do that when people are already so hostile towards LGBTQ communities just because you don't like they, them? But like, at the end of the day, I'm not fussing over this. If you go by those pronouns, it's fine. I just find them a bit odd. Okay, so like, I don't want to seem like a dick, but I found this way funnier than I had any reason to. So there's this YouTuber called Chester, and the channel itself, there's nothing really funny about the channel, but what I find funny is that the person who runs the channel goes by they pronouns. Just they, not they she, not they them, not they he, just they. And like, here's the thing. They probably do go by those pronouns and I'm just getting confused, but frankly that just makes it funnier. And like, it's not even like laugh out loud kind of funny. It's like looking at it and then chuckling softly kind of funny. Kind of like 69. Now, I don't mean to offend this person. I'm just making this video because I just want to show you the stupid things that I find funny.
You know who this motherfucker look like, low-key? Look!
It seems that some people like to make jokes about how some games that don't run at 60 FPS on the Switch 2 will run at 60 FPS on the Switch 3. However, that implies that there will actually be a Switch 3, and I don't think there will be. And it's not because I think Nintendo's just gonna cease to exist before that, it's just, here's the thing. Despite the Switch 2 being the only numerical sequel console Nintendo has ever made, they make sequel consoles all the time. I mean, we have the Game Boy Advance from the Game Boy, the 3DS from the DS, the Wii U from the Wii. These are all basically sequel consoles. And while Nintendo may make variations of those existing consoles, the next brand new console would always be something completely different. So I'm sure the next console after the Switch 2 will be something completely different. And I'm sure the console after that will be a sequel to that console, basically rinse and repeat. So I've recently played Pokemon Legends ZA's Mega Dimension DLC, and it's just okay. If you like the base game, you'll probably like this, but if you didn't, it's just okay. And with it brought some new Mega Evolutions. And while I haven't come across all of them, I did come across one in particular that I really want to talk about. That one being Mega Tatsugiri. At first, I didn't really like it. I understand the joke about them being sushi, but I kind of felt like it would make more sense if they tried to connect it with the commander ability with Dondozo, especially since abilities aren't in this game. However, during my battle with it, which was low-key kind of hard, I came across something that turned my opinion from it from to actually I think this is pretty cool. That being that the platter it sits on is literally the Mega Evolution symbol. Other Mega Pokemon probably do this as well, but I still really like how they implemented the symbol into the design. So, you know, congratulations, Mega Tatsugiri. You made me actually kind of like you. F. Cynthia, F. Volo, the Legends ZA rival might be the hardest battle in Pokemon history. So in the Mega Dimensions DLC, spoilers for that by the way, after you do a whole lot of, I don't know really, all I know is that one of the requirements is to complete every side mission, you get to fight your rival one last time. And you know how the previous strongest trainer had a Pokemon team well over the 80s? Well, this person has a full team of level 100 Pokemon. And not just that, they also have 4 Mega Pokemon. And I don't just mean they have 4 Pokemon capable of Mega Evolving. No, they just straight up Mega Evolve 4 Pokemon in the same battle. Instantly, by the way. Now, to be fair, they don't have the most competitively viable team, but I feel like that doesn't matter in this case, because not only does all of their Pokemon that don't have Mega Stones have pretty good items, considering that they're all level 100, there's really no way to make yourself stronger. You just gotta, you know, get good. But of course, when there's a will, there's a way. I won't lie, probably won't attempt to complete every side mission to fight them again. I do pray to anyone trying to, unless the fight is surprisingly easy. So in BDSP, I caught Arceus and decided to nickname it Wolfie Plays. And there is a very good reason on why I did that. When BDSP first released, the YouTuber known as Wolfie Plays decided to do something which he called the Idiot Endeavor. This was a challenge where he attempted to catch all the game's legendary Pokemon in normal Pokeballs. And he did that for all but one, and that one being Arceus. I think it was only because it wasn't available back then, but when it was available, he didn't go back to do it. So I did it for him. And while you could definitely see that I caught it in a normal Pokeball, and I did screen record the moment where I caught it, I no longer have that footage. I also don't entirely remember how many Pokeballs it took. I think it was somewhere between 90. This kind of makes me think of a version of this challenge where you only use Beast Balls, which sounds like absolute torture, but hey, I'm pretty sure there's some masochists who think that's a good use of their time. With Metroid Prime 4 releasing, I think now is a good time to talk about how Samus is a lesbian. Basically, it all started with a Metroid manga released all the way back in the 1900s, which depicted Samus with a bunch of women. And you can probably see where this is going. This was before Samus's gender was actually revealed, which is insane to think about considering her gender was revealed in the first game, so everyone just assumed that she was a man. However, now that it's common knowledge that she's actually a woman, it's just funny looking back at this, and even funnier how people use this to unironically turn her into a lesbian icon. Now, unfortunately, this isn't canon to the games. However, I'm pretty sure she doesn't have a canonical love interest in the game, so it isn't out of the realm of possibilities. So there's this phone brand called Oppo, and they recently made an ad which is, wow. Just wow. And like, it's not just that the ad is clearly AI generated, it's just, listen to the song that they use in the ad.
Brother, Merry Christmas. They don't understand the things I want for Christmas. Oh my brother Charlie, brother, Merry Christmas. Brother, Merry Christmas.
So, if you don't know, the song playing in that video is a parody of the Hitler song Kanye West made. And like, while they did end up taking that video down, the other videos this company is posting on their TikTok, I just find it crazy how someone thought it would be acceptable.
6-7 Oppo phones for 6-7 houses left. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope you have a Skibidi Oppo New Year.
Do people even say Riz or Skibidi anymore? And like, the thing that really baffles me with these videos is that Oppo genuinely makes good phones. incredible phones even. I mean, Mr. Who's the Boss literally gave his Phone of the Year award to an Oppo phone. So the fact that this is the way they're marketing them is frankly insane to me. Like, Oppo, just let the YouTubers do the marketing for you, because they clearly know what they're actually doing. So, I was passing by a store the other day and, found this. Dear God, help us all. And, like, I understand why someone decided to make it, but I'm sure not a single person in the universe ever asked for it. And whether we like it or not, we are in the age of brain rot toys. Whether they started out as brain rot or got turned into brain rot. I mean, like, even Skibidi Toilet has their own line of toys. But frankly, I'm willing to give them a pass because at least they have a meaning. They have some kind of lore or something. They have a reason to exist. However, for these things, they mean absolutely nothing and have no reason to exist. So of course, the Mega Dimension DLC brought us some new Mega Evolutions. And while I've already talked about one of them, there's another that I really do need to talk about. So, Darkrai. Due to some leaks, I already knew that this Pokemon was going to get a Mega Evolution, and I was just wondering what it could possibly look like. And deep down, I really wanted it to look like the Roaring Knight, because they just look really similar. Like, especially if you compare these two images. You can definitely see the similarities, right? But unfortunately, we didn't get that. Instead, we got Dark Matter from Kirby, which, you know what, I'll take it. Nintendo is continuing their trend of making every final boss a Kirby boss. If only they made it shiny white, then it would really be a Kirby boss. However, there is one little thing that I find kind of funny about this design, is that if you really oversimplify it, it's essentially just horizontal Darkrai. Okay, so like, genuine question. Do people actually buy Hess trucks nowadays? Like, we've all had one when we were kids. But do people actually buy them anymore? Like, your house might still have a Hess truck, and we see ads for them every year, yet I don't think people genuinely go out and buy them nowadays. If you still have a Hess truck, that thing probably dates back to the frickin' 2000s. But the reason people probably don't buy these anymore is because they're essentially just basic toy cars. And I have not seen someone ask for a toy car in years. Let alone for Christmas. Like, people may ask for a Hot Wheels, but that's about it. So that Amelia woman that I always hated, she decided to make this video. Dare I say more? Like, do I need any more evidence to show that this woman is transphobic? Okay, but like, here's the thing. I wasn't actually gonna make a video on this. I already made a community tab on it and I was just gonna leave it at that. But the reason I am making a video on this is because I caught this motherfucker in 4K. Because this woman decided to change the title. And yeah, I know that's pretty common within the YouTube space, but like, surely you can see how this can come off as kind of suspicious. And it seems like no one else in the comments seemed to notice the title change. But I did, because I had receipts. And of course, because it's the Amelia video, the comments are awful, and like, this is not how I wanted to start Christmas Eve. You know, YouTube, you almost had something. So I, alongside the majority, have been pretty vocal about how we don't like YouTube's AI. However, this suggestive hashtag feature, that actually seemed pretty useful. And in that video I made about Pokemon, it did successfully realize that it was a video about Pokemon, and gave me hashtags that, for the most part, made sense. But then in this video about a transphobe, it gave me Across the Spider-Verse. That's when I came to the very sad but expected conclusion that this feature sucks. Who would have guessed it? Like, there's this video about a phone company, and it gave me the hashtags Roblox and Give Us Our Stolen Money Back. But you know what? I have an idea. For this video, I'm gonna use every suggestive hashtag YouTube's AI comes up with. And if it's anything like that, well, at least it would be pretty funny. So about that great meme reset, is that still happening? Because I've heard a couple people talk about it every now and again, but I feel like most people don't really care. Don't get me wrong, I hate 6ix7ine and modern memes as much as the next guy, but, you know, we were bold to assume that we could get the internet to do anything useful. But you see, deep down, we all knew that this wasn't going to happen. Down to its conception, we knew that this wasn't going to happen. It's kind of funny considering that the concept of the Great Meme Reset in itself has turned into a meme. But, you know what, I want to be proven wrong. On New Year's, I want to see Nyan Cat and Trollface again. Assuming that you don't make them cringe. Even if you are a hardcore Pokemon fan, one thing that we can all unanimously agree on is that trade evolutions suck. And they suck even more on the Switch. Because if you want to complete the Pokédex, you're going to have to do the trade evolutions. However, to do the trade evolutions, you're going to need a Nintendo Switch Online membership. So if you're not willing to spend at minimum $4 to get one, you're just not going to be able to complete the Pokédex. And this is even more of an issue in Pokemon Legends ZA. Because if you want the Shiny Charm, which, let's be honest, most of us complete the Pokédex just to get the Shiny Charm, you're going to have to evolve the Pokemon yourself. So you can't, like, port one over from Pokemon Home or something. Not like that would even be a good idea because, well, what, ZA doesn't even have Pokemon Home support yet. And even when it does, if you send something there, you won't be able to take it out. And, like, none of it would have been so bad as long as they had just put the Lincoln Court from Legends Arceus here. But they didn't, so F me, I guess. YouTube is adding more useless AI features, whoop-de-doo. Alongside all the other AI stuff that YouTube's been cramming into this website, you can now use AI to make a song out of the script of a video. Wow, is it that cool? But who asked? Did anyone, seriously, did anyone on this planet genuinely want this? And like the thing about this is that even for the AI bros, the people who like AI, I don't even think they would like it because YouTube's AI is awful. I mean, for this video, look at the lyrics it tried to come up with. This should tell you everything. And like the thing is that AI can genuinely be useful, but this isn't useful. Like, what if you use AI for, like, I don't know, removing background noise from a video? That would be useful. Much more useful than it is at moderation. So Amazon decided to give new voices to Alexa, and, yeah, I don't like it. Like, I remember talking to Alexa, and it responded to me in a woman's voice, and I found it extremely creepy. And, like, it could definitely be just because I'm not used to it, and it's something new. But, like, still, why change it at all? None of us had a problem with the original voice. And what sucks about it the most is that I don't even know how to change it back to its original voice. When I ask it to change back to the original voice, it says that the voice it's using is the original voice, when it isn't. Alexa, change to your original voice.
You're already using my classic voice. Feminine 2. Relaxed.
You can definitely tell that this new voice is AI. All the voices are AI, in fact. In fact, this whole new system they got going is built off AI. And unfortunately, because it's AI, I know exactly where this is going. And frankly, talking to a chatbot is one thing. Talking to your Alexa is a whole nother level of loneliness. I am so sorry. Imagine being Galactonite right now. Imagine being in the Kirby universe for who knows how long and not being canon. Getting freaking murdered by a butterfly. Having your murderer become canon before you. And in the DLC all about hearts, stars, and crystals, you still don't become canon. We got people here waiting for GTA 6 while I'm here waiting for the day Galactonite becomes canon. I mean, his motif was literally in the final boss theme, yet he's still nowhere to be seen. Imagine your mixtape becoming canon before your own flesh and blood. This guy's gotta be punching the air. Now, I daily upload now, But the way I do it isn't by making a video every day and posting it same day, but it's by pre-recording a bunch of videos and then uploading them at certain times. And while this system works, it does cause some videos to be completely outdated. Like that video I uploaded about Galactonite. Not only could you tell that it's old because it uses my old model, but I also planned on uploading that back when Starcrossed World released. I ended up not releasing it at that time to prevent spoilers, but now I'm uploading it at a time where Starcrossed World isn't even the most recent Kirby game. And because of this system, I need to upload all my videos about a certain topic when that topic is relevant. Like, I have a bunch of videos about Pokemon Legends ZA that I need to upload, and if I don't upload them now, they're gonna end up outdated. Like that video about the Shiny Charm. I made that video back when the game released. I'ma be honest, and it might just be me, but 2025 felt like the least festive year of all time. Like, this was the first year where I genuinely forgot holidays were coming up. And like, that could definitely just be a natural consequence of growing up, but like, I still went trick-or-treating, so I still care for the holidays. Even if I did forget Halloween was coming up before I decided to go. And for Christmas, frankly, I was just going through the motions up until the day came. And when it did come, it didn't even feel special. And for me, the most festive thing I ended up doing was just making the thumbnails for my short collections. This one is based on Thanksgiving, if you couldn't tell. Oh yeah, don't even get me started on Thanksgiving. Probably the most nothing burger holiday I've ever been through in my life.